Best not miss. What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Shout out to my people. Austin said, no, people are still getting and desiring to be married. No people are still, I don't know what that means. No people, I don't understand what that means. No people, no, people are still getting and desiring to be married. Go look up those stats. If I'm perceiving you correctly, go look up those stats. Marital rate is at a crazy decrease. In the black community, it was already around 27%, so I don't know. The birth rate. There's 17 states where even the Caucasian American death rate is exceeding the birth rate. Things are going bad, people. Things are going bad. But listen, we're going to have a pretty crazy show today. The thing that I like about all of our shows is there's not a person, man, woman, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Pacific Islander. There's not a person who can come pay attention to our show for 10 minutes and not get something life-changing benefit out of it. You can't, because that's what the show is about. The show is about us doing better than we did yesterday. For those of you who have been rocking with us, let's see, I got it. I caught it before it happened. So why? I caught it before it happened. That's what I'm talking about. Mic check, mic check. I know it sounds better. But listen, decline, that's the word I was looking for. We are at a crazy decline and it's not going to get better. We're going to jump right into the show. You know what? Let's get TikTok to where they can hear us as well. People, I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but just think about it like this. People used to be married at 70 and 80 percentile rates. That's not happening anymore. It's not happening anymore. People are arranging ways to hide assets. What I'm going to tell you is, show is going to get crazy good, like right off of the bat. Let's do it like this. I want you guys to tell me, of course, this isn't any diss or anything like that, but I want you guys to lead us into the show. Who used to benefit the most off of marriages? I want you guys to lead us into the show. Did I get it? I don't reach into anybody's inbox. Beyonder? No. Who used to benefit the most off of marriage? The question implies at all. Listen, Brother Austin, I know you're probably new here. We don't speak in those terms. Like, this is like adult conversation. Like, black people take each other's lives at an unprecedented rate. That doesn't mean all black people. See what I'm saying? We talk fluently like adults here to where we don't have to say things like not all and 100%. We just know that. We just know that. What? My brother Rick said, I argued with a woman and she said, we as men benefited more off marriage? The top 20 wealthiest women, where do you think they got their wealth from? Jeez, and see, this is I want to say this. I'm not going to even get into that. I'm not even going to get into that. But I want to say to you guys, I want to say this. Women were the major beneficiaries of marriage. They benefited more than anyone, right? Because men, we can sustain ourselves to the end of our lives. We can confront danger head on, right? We can manipulate, our strength allows us to manipulate the universe to yield us the resources that we need to continue surviving, right? We build roads, we build dwelling places, right? We can do all of these things alone. We can do all of these things alone. We can build the homes. We can build the chimneys. We can put the foundations to the homes together. We can utilize mud for clay. Right? We were born with everything that we need as bare butt naked men. Butt naked. To survive. Butt naked cavemen. And then we take what God has given us and we forge it into weapons and tools to help us survive. We will take a deer's life, right? Utilize it as food, but utilize a portion of the hide for a blanket or something like that, but then tear strips of the blanket so we could put, let's say, 2 sharp sticks together and take strips of the hide of the deer together and utilize them as string so we can fashion the weapon together very securely and tight. We were born to be able to survive. You were born to be able to be protected by the men who were already equipped to survive. This is not to downplay women's value at all. This is not to downplay women's value. We're going somewhere with this, people. We're going somewhere with this. Marriage has always been the gateway to safety for women. That's what this thing has been. Women who are getting snotty, who are feminists, they're acknowledging it. We don't need you guys to do for us anymore. I should have downloaded that. Marriage used to be a place that we had to go so that we could be protected and provide. Well, now we have our own jobs. I don't know. We'll just see what Donald Trump has to say about that. $300,000 African American women just lost their jobs. And that's the tip of the iceberg. A lot of you have jobs in human resources, governmental jobs, admin. Those jobs are over. I want you guys to go to Google. Google just released a list of all of the jobs that AI will be impacting in the next 6 months. 6 months. Now, here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part about this. Here's the crazy part. The woman said, we used to need you guys as a place of refuge. We used to need you guys to lean on in marriage and things like that. Well, now we have our own money. Here's the crazy part. You guys have put such a foul taste in the mouths of men about marriage to where, let's say, if you become one of the one. Listen, who was that? It wasn't Berkshire Hathaway. Who am I talking about, people? Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway. Somebody's going to say it. Let's go, people. If you rock with me, I know you know this name. Berkshire Hathaway. Warren Buffett. Shout out to ZF in this mother effer. Warren Buffett just came out. Google this up. Just came out and said, you don't need college. All you need is to have vision and ambition. That's something that typically dwells with men. But not only just that, they said almost half of the people who are in college right now are studying to get degrees that will be replaced by AI in the next 2 years.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Listen what my bro said. It's falling apart before their very eyes because God never intended it to be like this from the beginning. We gotta turn these bombs up. I'm not saying this like, we got you. I'm not saying it like that. What I'm telling you guys is you stepped in a bear trap. You're not going to step in it. You stepped in it around 15 years ago. Gangrene is now, it's already snapped the leg. Here's why. You guys have been so nasty to men. Listen, and let's get this straight, by the way. Let's get this straight. This is not a woman-hating page. We just drop information. Oftentimes, I want to say this to everybody. I know that oftentimes the information that we dispense out here, it can sound sharp. Me, myself, I don't really care about what I get up here and do. I utilize tools such as logic, historical data, statistics, and facts. Sometimes I don't even know where this thing is going until we have a topic and I apply logic, historical data, and statistics to it. And it tells me a story before it tells you a story. Oftentimes, I don't even know where we're going with some of these things, but I apply these things. Like if you guys get up and tell me about Barbie dolls right now, and we start and the longevity that they may have, we will apply historical data to what the sales used to be, to what manufacturing materials have come out since they were high selling. We start putting all of these components together and they tell us a story. We don't come up here like, oh, we're going to get the women. Oh, we're going to get deadbeat dads. No, I am unbiased. You guys should know that about this show now. I don't come up here and try to force things to fit what I want them, the direction I want them to go in. I come up here and get disappointed sometimes myself. When we open the Bible and it says men aren't supposed to be having sex with multiple different women, I'm going to be human. I'm going to tell you the truth right now. That doesn't make me feel amazing. Nonetheless, it is what it is. If I say that I'm a Christian, that just is what it is. That doesn't make me feel great. Because I know plenty of amazing women who will give me some. And I'd like to partake in it. I am telling you guys, we don't come up here and whatever we desire, let's see if we could twist Bible scriptures up to make it to our advantage. No, I am just as unaware as you guys, in a lot of cases, how these shows are going to end and how they're going to turn out. We bring up various topics and we apply certain tools to them. Historical data. What was it like X amount of years ago when it was good, right? For instance, relationships. In the night, we know today we live in a simulated version of a matriarchy, which is a society where women wield significant amounts of power. Patriarchy is when men controlled all aspects of power, right? Well, I don't have to come up here and say, I'm going to twist a scenario because I want men to be in power. I'm going to twist a scenario to fit that. No, we come up here right now and we say, okay, we've saw both versions of this in the 1960s and on up, and even before that, but we'll just say the 1960s and on up. This was the country ran off of a patriarchy, men in control. We were married at an 80% rate. Our children were turning out better, right? And then we can flip it and compare that to today. And we know which one is better based on the comparison, based on the statistics. That's what we do up here, people. What I'm telling you people today is this. Your daughters are in trouble. They're in trouble. Now, the older women, it's already been over for them. That's why they're out giving their bodies away like that. Because they know, listen, how long does a person have to date and get bad results? How long do you think a person has to date and get pretty much horrific results for them to come to the conclusion, maybe this is as best as I could do is getting jumped atop of like a trampoline? You think these women don't know? You think that? You think women who are constantly getting introduced to the infamous belt buckle jingle, you think that they're not realizing I can get men to come over, even handsome men, but I've noticed something keeps happening. Every time each one of them busts a nut, I hear this sound in my ears. That man reaching for his pants, signaling his exit. Shit, shorty, what you about to do? There is no hanging around. There is no, that was good, babe. You think that woman doesn't know within herself, if these men aren't staying around, if these men aren't taking me to introduce me to their mom, if these men aren't taking me out in public, I don't mean much to them. And listen, it's not just Tone. Tone doesn't even know Tay Tay. And Tay Tay does the same shit to me. Tay Tay doesn't know Glocktavius. And I'm telling you right now, Glocktavius does the same thing. It's like soon as I feel his body shuddering and shaking and him releasing his jungle juice in me, it's like he's reaching for his pants before he even gets done releasing. You think those women haven't come to a conclusion, no one wants me for a serious relationship? That's what you think. See, so they know. That's why they are dressing in a way that is competitive to the younger girls. They're doing everything that they can to still get attention from somewhat handsome men and things of that nature. So they know, they've been known. But here's where it's about to get ugly, people. there used to be a safety net in place for women where there was a thing that they could do to ensure that their entire life they would be cared for, they would be protected, they wouldn't have to worry about getting evicted, things like that. There was a place that they could go. There was a place that women could always go and make sure that they were protected from the beginning to the end of their lives. And I'll be damned if they didn't just get evicted from that place. It was called marriage, people. The inside of a marriage was supposed to be a safe dwelling place for women. Now, here's why I say you guys got evicted from it. Shout out to Lotus in this situation, rocking on out with us, supporting the show. I appreciate it, love. Shay. I appreciate my TikTok people supporting the show. You want to know what I mean when I say you guys got evicted? Should I not? Should I not? I am going to do it. Don't go anywhere, people. The screen is going to freeze up. I'm going to load this up. Shout out to Miss Mary supporting the show. I appreciate you. Where is it at? Where it is. There it is. There it is. Please, hurry. Appreciate my people being patient with us. Come on. Download. Are you kidding me? Now don't make me abort the mission. I just wanted to show my people. Jeez. All of the hostility is really coming. Okay, you kidding me? Men that she's allowed to stretch her out. F you then, Instagram. Enough about her to lock her down. Listen, I'm not going to even install this show. It was taking too long to download. I really wish it would have. I'm not going to try that either. One more time. Gotta be kidding me. All right, I apologize, people. I'm not even going to do it. I wanted to send something, but there was a clip. I'm not even going to try. There was a clip of the woman talking about, back in the days, we used to need you guys for this, and that, right? I want to say something to you, ladies. She was right. The moment you guys did get economic stability, since the beginning of time, men have had economic superiority over women. We took care of you. Not only that, we rescued you when you were at your lowest points. Out of diners, when you were poor, all of that. We still do that today. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows it. Rich men don't typically marry women who have more money than them. Rich men typically marry women who don't have more money than them. And it doesn't even matter how much money she has. She could be in bankruptcy, right? When men find value in a woman, he just goes after her. It's that simple. That's the heart of men. We've always been like that. Is there even one person who disagrees with that? Billionaires, millionaires, we never cared about your economic standing. But now the moment that women got financial security, we don't need a man. Not only that, you started treating men very, very badly, right? You started gold digging at a high level. You started strategically marrying men for their money, all the way to the point where that safe haven that you guys once had, if things ever got bad, well, not even if things ever got bad, that safe haven called a marriage that once existed where men would openly take care of you for the rest of your lives, I'm going to prove to you that that thing has been shattered, and it is a place that a lot of you are no longer welcome. You guys have become so dirty, diabolical, and dastardly to where, well, let's just go here. Let's get to it, people. Those of you who are on TikTok, you want to see these clips, you're going to want to come over here and see the clips. You'll be able to hear it, but you won't be able to see. I'll wait before I play the clips. If you want to come over here and see The Real Stacey Prince at YouTube, or you can go down to my TikTok profile, hit the link tree, and YouTube will be right there. If you hit the YouTube, it'll shoot you right over here. Shout out to all of my YouTube family over here in this situation, rocking with us. You already know what it is. You guys, yourselves in the foot in a major way. In a major way. The levels of disrespect that you showed good men no longer want to marry. They don't want to marry women. Listen, at the worst possible time when women are losing the jobs that allowed them to be able to talk strong to men, AI is not coming for those jobs. AI has already started dismantling those jobs by the hundreds of thousands. It's not just the African American community. The jobs that women primarily go to school to study for is nursing jobs, human resources, and governmental jobs. Now, I want to show you guys something. Those of you who are on TikTok and you want to check out the clips, well, let's go.
You need to wake up and realize most women today want nothing to do with you at all. It's over. The sooner you allow this to get into your brain, the better off you can be taking care of yourself, focusing on your own life, and moving forward outside of women. It's not like it used to be back in the day. You see, I've come through the time when we had no cell phones. We had a phone to use in the house. We had a pager. Then we had the Motorola flip phone. No, then we had the car phone. Then we had the Motorola flip phone. And then we had some other phones. And then came the iPhone, and then came the Android. I've seen how over the years, technology has transformed relationships between men and women. And the more the technology is delivered, the more the relationships fall apart. Because the relationships are distracted by the technology. You have to understand this is a fact. The only women out here that want to be with a man in a relationship is people of high status, because social media has allowed the world to show exactly who the poor people are and who the rich people are, who the people who are high level and the people who are not. All the women want to be with high level men, or they want to date other women. That's what's going on. A lot of these women out here today, they don't want to date a low status man, because
this was the absolute worst place that you wanted men's mindsets to ever come to where they felt at ease about not being there for women. You guys kind of began living a life basically telling us, we used you. And see, if you know anything about men, that's how we're able to war. We take offense to things like that. That's how we are able to execute war at the levels that we do. Because when we get offended, we get strategic, right? You guys have been all over social media letting us know how you really feel about us. And listen, there's millions more women in the United States, in the world, period, than there are men. Men will never go without women. They will never. That's why I laugh sometimes when women say things like, nobody gonna cheat. I wish a person would cheat on me. It's over. Okay. You're going to put up with it one way or another. I don't advise a woman to put up with a cheater, but if a man cheats around 3-4 times, I'm talking about somebody who you have something going on with, someone you have children with, someone you pledged to die with. If you leave that relationship, do you know what the odds are that you'll recover and get another life partner who will care for you to the end of your days? A lot of you are already finding out. It's all over my social medias. They're coming clean with it. But what I'm telling you guys is this. You turned men into something that we've never been since the beginning of time. Cold-hearted towards women. You guys have been so nasty on social media and in real life. But let's go.
Their whole life is wrapped up in the cell phone and social media. So now they're looking at all the different men that are high status, and they say, well, either I'm going to have a high status man or I don't want anybody at all. Look what happened last year. Over 500,000 women broke off their marriages. Over 500,000 women broke off their marriages. Marriage is done. And there was no way in the world I would ever sign a marriage certificate with a woman.
Did you hear what this man said? It's not even in our biology to make statements like that. It is in our biology to desire to let a woman inside of our world and protect her to the end of time. Me, myself, I would never get married. Never. I've only dated amazing women, but I don't even care. I know what is in the core of a woman. There's a seed that lies inside of a woman. It's dormant. In the good girls, it's dormant. It's the seed of Eve. It's dormant. In the good girls, it's there, but it's dormant. But if that seed ever awakens, long after retirement, you'll find yourself needing to get another job because that woman will have taken you to the cleaners. She will have taken you to the cleaners.
Any reason whatsoever, because I'm too intelligent to make the mistakes that I've seen everybody else make. I would never do that.
Did you hear what he said? I'm too intelligent to make the mistakes that I've seen other people make. Men are learning from other men's mistakes. They're learning from other men's mistakes. And I'm going to tell you, ladies, something. A lot of you don't think how men think. You don't talk how men talk. A lot of you don't know that war is coming to the soil of America. You guys are so spoiled that you don't think about the concept of war, World War III or anything like that. You guys have it in your pretty heads that this beautiful American dream that we've been living all our lives, this is what it's going to continue to be forever. Okay, it's not what the Bible says. And for those of you women who say, if a man ever cheats on me, it's over. What you often do and don't want to admit is you get rid of men for cheating on you and get a hold to a man after that who cheats on you, whips your ass, and has brought you back STDs a couple of times, and his money isn't right. It's why we don't understand you. You guys, you hear how this man said, I'm too intelligent to have seen what other men have gone through and go through it myself. We don't understand why you guys don't see what your girlfriends keep going through, what your sisters keep going through, what your mothers keep going through. You guys are talking about you won't tolerate with a man who has cheated a couple of times. But it's like you don't see the repetitious cycle of women getting rid of men and getting worse men. Ladies, give me a thumbs up if that is correct, or give me a thumbs down if I don't know what I'm talking about. I want to see. I want to see. Give me a thumbs up if women usually get a worse person when they hop back out there on the dating field. Give me a thumbs. Yeah, with multiple felons. See, this is what I say. You guys need our governing more than what you think. The damage that you do to your lives, just ask yourself, how did you guys end up having multiple children by multiple men? You know how crazy that is? Do you have any clue how crazy it is to have 3 children by 3 different men? It's not cool to have 2 children by 2 different men. It's okay as long as the second person ends up being your last person. But if that second person doesn't work out and you have to go to another relationship with 2 children by 2 different men, you wouldn't want that for your son. But I want to show you guys where this thing is going. Hey, YouTube, let's get those likes up. Hit that thumbs up button. We're doing good with the viewership, but we got to get the likes up there with it so everybody else knows that we're live and we're rocking. I appreciate it. I appreciate the gift. DY in this situation.
Okay? So you have to understand, women are not willing to give up all the attention that they are receiving on the phone to settle down with one man. When a woman has that phone and she has Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Google, CNN, Fox News, local news, etc., all these apps to keep her attention, guess what? Ain't none of them apps gonna hurt her feelings. So she has traded in men because men...
They don't get it. They don't get...
The one place that women have always had as a place of safety, you guys threw a hand grenade inside of it. Marriage. Men don't see it as sacred to protect women anymore. Men don't see it as a good deal to marry women anymore. For those of you who don't believe me,
did you hear what Tom Brady did to his ex-wife? Allegedly, when his wife filed for divorce, she demanded half of his property. Only the court told her that her millionaire husband owned nothing. Apparently, all of his property is registered under his mother's name. Because he transferred his assets to his mother, he technically owns nothing, which means he doesn't owe her anything. Now, instead of transferring the assets to another person, he could have set up a trust and appointed himself as the beneficiary. That way, it's a separate legal entity, just like a person, but it's way more secure. Which means his assets are not only protected from divorce, but also legal claims and creditors. So what do you think? Is this bad or totally brilliant?
men are coming up with ways to even break the boundaries of prenuptial agreements. Men are natural protectors. In order for you to have pushed men this far, you have to have been performing very dastardly. Jeff Bezos said it. He said they were talking about how much money that his wife received in the divorce, and he said, no, she's a good woman. You know, she's done really well by me and da-da-da-da-da. See, that's how men used to be. If we had to part with some of our money, it's just in us to be heroes. So we didn't mind a woman, you know, benefiting from us, right? You guys have gotten so nasty with this thing. And I'll show you guys what I mean when I say so nasty. You guys have gotten so nasty with this thing. Look at this. Look at this. A lot of you on TikTok, shout out to my bro Biggs over here. My day one, always supporting the show with the Cash App. Listen, people, respectfully, we often have the same people contributing to the show. Respectfully, those of you who have never contributed to the show, you know this is how to show online. You see the information down there. It's the Cash App Stacy Prince or the Cash or PayPal Stacy Prince, or you can hit the super chat. Show us that you rock with the show. Rock with us like we rock with you. I appreciate you, Biggs. Always rocking with us, my brother. You guys have become so nasty. Listen, and I'm going to say this. Athletes, they're usually just dumb. So we don't really care what happens to them. I believe that whatever happens to athletes, it should happen to them. After just 17 months of marriage, Tyreek Hill and Keita Vaccaro are divorcing. Keita will get over $50,000 a month, a $500,000 lump sum, plus the cost of the $5 million Miami mansion, and he has to cover all of the bills of the mansion, the mortgage, all the way down to the internet. All the way down to the internet. I'm going to say this again. She will get $50,000 a month, a lump sum payment of $500,000, Plus, she gets the $5 million mansion, and he has to continue paying the mortgage, the utilities, all the way down to the internet bill. It's over for him. That man will live a life of cash. He will have to be almost embezzling cash and things like that. The average NFL player is typically broke after 4 years, right? When they quit after 4 years, they're typically broke when they retire. That's too much. He won't be able to sustain that. This man is ruined behind a 17-month marriage. A 17-month marriage. Listen, and if you can hear what the brother in the first thing said, men like myself, it doesn't have to happen to us. We pay attention to what's possible. We look at them and we say, oh, that could happen? I'm never getting married. Never. Men aren't going for it anymore, ladies. They're not going for it anymore. Men with good sense, you guys ruined something that you had. You ruined your safety net. Because before you got really, really doggishly greedy, men kind of had no problem, letting you leave the marriage with something. But when you started getting diabolical with it, now men are hiding assets so that you get nothing.
Well, if this isn't a case of how being greedy can go very wrong, I don't know what is. This is Charlotte Padrell, and she thought she was going to get a pay date from her boyfriend of only a year, Israel Adesanya, who is a UFC two-time champion UFC fighter. He's Nigerian from New Zealand. Now, what Charlotte decided to do is that once they broke up after a little over a year, she decided that she was going to sue him in court for half of his assets. And he has a $15 million fortune, right? Charlotte felt like she deserved half. The basis of her lawsuit is essentially what Mariah Carey did. She felt like that they had spent a year together. She expected to get married to him, and then he dropped her like a hot potato. So she was upset and was like, well, I'm going to sue him because I deserve half of his UFC fortune because I helped him along the way with his career in that year. Mind you, they had never been married. They didn't have kids. They had nothing. Well, she herself has $1 million fortune because she's a real estate mogul. What ended up happening is he put his $15 million fortune in his mother's name. His mother manages his fortune because he had an ex-wife that he did not want to have to split assets with. So essentially what he did, it's kind of shady, I'm not going to lie, but it helped out in his favor this time. His mother has all full control of his assets and his fortune. His mother has been managing his assets since he started his UFC career. So when they went through the lawsuit and she actually won, it looked like he had made zero earnings for his career, and she was worth $1 million. So Charlotte was ordered to pay $500,000 to him because she looked like the breadwinner. So this was this was a Uno reverse like no other Uno reverses. I think I've heard this story before with a soccer player that this happened with his wife. However, she was not a wife. She was a girlfriend of only 1 year, thinking that she was owed half of his fortune. She didn't put years in with this man. She put 1 year in. And look what God did. It's karma. I'm just saying it's karma. What do you think below? Comment your thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say about this.
You guys got diabolically sinister, on a sinister level, greedy. Well, this is that point in the show where we get kind of ugly with it. Turbulence, people. Pussy means nothing to me. I don't care anything about it. Nothing. I'll go months whacking off. A woman's value is not that high to me if she doesn't have something other than pussy. I really wish I could dump inside of most men the value that I have for it. I don't care much about it at all. I think it's a distraction. I think greatness feels better on my loins than a woman does. I think pursuing dreams, failing, succeeding, failing some more, succeeding. Bang, 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 bang. That feels like cusping boobs to me. I don't care. Sex means nothing to me. Now, There are 3 women who I really, really adored and have great feelings for. 2 of them I had great feelings for. So being intimate with them meant something to me because it was my expression to them of how I feel about them, right? But to give up $500,000 for you opening your legs to me for a year, and we don't know if I'm the only one. Chances are, if you're a nasty enough woman to where you'll come after half of my fortune for being with me for a year, chances are a person who's capable of that was likely already doing something with someone else. When you see behavioral traits inside of a person, they don't usually stick in one area. They usually slide down in other areas of that person. A person can't be nasty enough to try and come for half of all of a man has worked for some years. She can't be nasty and without conscious enough to do that, but have her integrity intact whenever other men approach her. That's not likely. I really wish that I could say something to men. Vagina's nothing. Whack off. It's pretty close to the same thing. A woman doesn't stand any chance against me. She just really doesn't. We have seen such nasty ways about women to where it'll cause you to form opinions about women. My girl Kendra over here in this situation, always supporting the show. sex doesn't mean anything to me. What does mean something to me is a really, really good woman. And I'm a pretty good picker. I'm just going to be honest about that. I'm a pretty good picker. You guys have to stop being controlled by your genitals. Shout out to my girl Kendra over here setting that gun off. I'm talking about. Did you know this? Listen, my girl snapping down here. I was digging that right there, no doubt. Shiny air balloon, my girl. Did you know that women don't even respect a man who can't control himself sexually? Because they know they own you. They know they own you. It is hard for a woman to respect a man who is not displaying discipline and leadership characteristics. You have to be able to be the caliber of man who can, I don't feel like it right now, babe. There's been times where I really, really wanted something. Like, listen, and she's bad too. And I would turn it down just to let her know who I am. I might not turn it down the second time, but I would let her know I'm not one of those guys. I've heard a lot of men say simps are one of the biggest problems, and I agree. Because when men like myself stand 10 toes down and walk with our chest poked out, women would have to correct their disrespectful behavior if all men were doing that. But they don't have to correct their disrespectful behavior because they know a sucker, a simp, or someone they had in the friend zone for 10 years who they can go to him and just do this and let that wind carry just a little bit of her perfume up under his nostrils, and he'll bow down. He'll give her head without him even getting anything in return. So she doesn't have to course correct her behavior. She can continue acting like a disrespectful person. The only thing is, the men who they desire, the reason they desire those men is because they can't manipulate those men like that. Men who are about their business, men who are about their purpose, they don't even always have time to be laid up in the bed. So your actual prowess doesn't even, if it's like a bulletproof vest. My purpose, my vision, my goals, dreams, and aspirations are my bulletproof vest from your poontang. which your poontang usually annihilates other men. But even if I want some right now, I know I have to go to sleep because I have to be up early in the morning. Even if I want some right now, I've already read some books that suggest the caliber of man that I desire to be needs to practice discipline. Even if I want some right now, there's other things that I have to be doing to get me closer and closer to my purpose. Listen, JX says your purpose as a man comes before anything else outside of God himself. I just really wish, and I'm going to say this, I really wish all men knew this, but we have to make allowance for the men who were raised by single parent moms, which is a significant number. Those men don't know what purpose is. Those men don't know how to stay 10 tones down. I was one of them. I've simped out before. I've simped out for some years. I didn't know that I was simping, though. I thought that I was being the good men that we were taught to be. We were taught to be chivalrous. We were taught to be willing to give our lives But see, when the internet came along and exposed this behavior, listen, shout out to my brother Mike in this situation supporting the show. I appreciate you, my guy. That's what I'm talking about, keeping us going. Council State said, poontang, we say that word in Scotland. I think I got that from my dad, or my dad wasn't even present in my life, but whenever I be around him, sometime he'll say things. Those men you talk about, Stacy, think their purpose is solely their career. Some of them, that's true. I think a man who is really about his purpose, he really knows the balance, because your career is not 100% of your purpose. It's a mixture of your faith, your worship, right? It's a mixture of your career, and it's a mixture of your discipline. That is a man who also knows how to be a family man. But what I'm telling you, ladies, is you guys destroyed your own place of refuge. Men, the very thing that has caused women to rise in society has been snatched out from under you like a rug. Marriage. Divorce is one of the biggest businesses in America. Do you know the fortunes? Not money, the fortune. Do you know the fortunes that have been dismantled due to divorces? And now, because men have seen the nastiness of women in America, they have started coming up with ways to where you can't affect them anymore.
Hakimi has changed the whole game of divorce that even Andrew Tate was impressed. Recently, footballer Ashraf Hakimi's wife filed for divorce after he was accused of RPE and demanded half of his property. She was, however, informed by court that her millionaire husband owns nothing, as all his property is registered under his mother's names. Hakimi receives €1 million from PSG monthly, but 80% of this is deposited in his mother Mrs. Fathima's account. He has no property, cars, houses, jewelry, or even clothes in his name. Anytime he wants anything, he asks his mother, who buys it for him. What a genius!
Your daughters will be unprotected. Men of quality, who most women desire, are shying away from marriage now. Your daughters will be used as bust downs. They will be drug alone for significant amounts of time until they say, if you're not going to marry me, then I'm going to leave this relationship. Because he has other women who will gladly take your place and gladly fill the slot of being drug alone. See, men are visionaries. God equipped us to have vision so that we could better protect our families and our legacies with. So men can see ahead. And men, based on what's happening right now, men see where this is leading. Men see where this is leading. A lot of women, listen, let me say this. Even men's daughters will be impacted by this. Will be impacted by this. It just goes to show the damage that you guys have done. Goes to show the damage that you guys have done. You guys have really broken an entire ecosystem just by, and I don't blame you, because a woman is a nasty individual just by her nature. I almost don't even hold it against women. A woman by nature is a bad person. The only time that a woman is not a bad person is if she has been up under the leading of a man at one point in time in her life, or if she is under the leadership of a man now. Look at you guys. I often teach people this. Outside of a woman's connection to a man, she is of no importance on this planet, because she will do significant amounts of damage. Significant amounts of damage. Just look around. Look what you do to yourselves. If you will destroy your life, why the hell would I believe that you would have regard for me? Please, somebody give me some pushback on that. If you are so volatile, yes, we're being looked at as a whole now, 100%. Men can't even take a chance on the good girls now. Marriage, it's not going to be happening. Not with quality men. Quality men know better. I wish I could have got that other clip had I thought about it. Let me see. Did that thing download? I bet it didn't. I wish it had a... Look, JX said, can't take a chance now. Too much risk with very little upside for men. Poontang? Listen, if we're going to go ahead and get diabolical with this thing, let's get diabolical with this thing, people. You guys know me. I'll let her rip. Turbulence, people. For those of you who aren't familiar with the show, when you hear that, I'm probably about to rock the boat a little bit or say something that's going to make people uncomfortable. Did you know that a man who is blowing your phone up, you know he needs something. You know why he's calling you at 3 a.m. or 1 a.m. I'm talking about he needs something like no other. Did you know that a man's biology is so tricky to where I could be craving you? I could be willing to come over there and drop a couple $100. I could be calling your number from somebody else's phone because you're not picking mine up. I could really, really be fiending for you tonight. Ma'am, any man on this planet, although he wants you bad, if that man rolls over and whacks off, his desire for you, that same woman who he was just blowing up your phone, willing to even come up with some money, that very same man, his desire for you will go all the way down to -10. Don't need you anymore. Don't need you anymore. Fellas, give me a thumbs up if I'm right. Give me a hell no if I'm going overboard with it. Watch this. Watch this. There you go. There you go. There you go. Hell, I'm going to just say it. Turbulence, people. You can be replaced with a fucking jack off. I don't mean to say that, but it's the truth. Anyone, any man down there, you let me know when I start telling lies. You let me know when I start telling lies. The moment that man releases, you are completely forgotten about. He just hit himself with the infamous belt buckle jingle. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. The reason that I'm telling you guys this is because you've gotten too big for your britches. You guys have come to a place where I got a vajayjay. Okay. But the men who you can control like that, with that, are the very same men that you're not attracted to. They are the very men that you're not attracted to. And you're not attracted to them for that very reason, because they have no actual discipline. Fellas, you let me know when I'm up here telling lies. What we desired from women more than anything, you were supposed to be a helpmate. But you have become so selfish to where we don't get that from you. So then you've been reduced to an actual object. And then you kind of so-called, it's not real, we know you're just putting up a front. But then you attempt to act peed off when you're treated like an actual object. Well, what else do you have to offer? What else do you have to offer? Listen, I am telling you guys right now, I've been that guy. Even recently. I said it. I'll be thinking about, listen, that girl has a mouth like a Dyson. And I'm crazy about her abilities. And her thing is extra, 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 extra tight. But I want it right now. Now I'm going to call for the third time. I know you see me calling you. And then check this out. Hey, big head. I crashed out a little bit. I just now see you call. You want to come over? I'm good. I'm good. You have been replaced. I can agree with the helpmate, but honestly, a man has to know how to lead and be led by God. Well, in order for that to happen, you guys have to stop having bastard children. These are the men who are malfunctioning in society. It is very difficult for a man to become a man if he has not been instructed on how to do so by his father. We never understood why you guys didn't get that. You think a cheetah could teach an alligator how to be an alligator? It's not feasible. That whole thing will come out resembling a malfunction. It will resemble one big malfunction. My bro said, my wife is about to lose everything. I got blocked from all social media, phone call, blocked. These women have no respect. Listen, here's what happened. You got tricked out of tradition that worked for us. You guys got tricked out of a tradition that worked for us. The best results we've ever seen in our lives was the lives that our grandmothers lived. Now, I understand you would say, oh, that was 70 years ago. I understand that. But we could have still made that thing evolve with time. Just how we did with our faith in God. We aren't working on dirt roads wearing Jesus sandals, right? But we figured out how to continue worshiping the Lord our God, Jehovah, even though we have the ability to pull PORN up on our laptops. We adapted and we made adjustments. You guys traded in the tradition that worked for us for a Sex in the City lifestyle. You guys fell for the biggest marketing scheme on the planet. independent women. There is no such thing as independent women. There's absolutely no such thing. There is no woman on the entire planet who can survive without men's resources. None. Look up the definition of the word independent. This is why I often laugh when women say independent women. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Mike check in this situation, rocking out with us. Women always talk about the egg, but never acknowledge the chick that laid the egg. It's getting crazier and crazier. Yes, they have destroyed their own refuge. You let a hand grenade go off in your own mansion. Why would you do that? You did it. And I believe personally it's irreparable. You guys have treated men so terrible. You've been open about it on social media to where, listen, I want to show you something. It's crazy to get men to go to a place like this because this is truly not in a man's nature.
Did you hear what Tom Brady did to his ex-wife? Allegedly, when his wife filed for divorce, she demanded half of his property. Only the court told her that her millionaire husband owned nothing. Apparently, all of his property is registered under his mother's name. Because he transferred his assets to his mother, he technically owns nothing, which means he doesn't owe her anything. Now, instead of transferring the assets to another person, he could have set up a trust and appointed himself as the beneficiary. That way, it's a separate legal entity, just like a person, but it's way more secure, which means his assets are not only protected from divorce, but also legal claims and creditors. So what do you think? Is this bad or totally brilliant?
You got to listen to this. This isn't just wealthy men who can do this. You could set up your own estate and make yourself the beneficiary. A lot of the resources that allow women to maneuver along in society alone was the resources that they would get once they left the marriage. What about when you're leaving these marriages? And let's just be honest. The reason that they leave these marriages is because they don't want to be disciplined women, that they don't want to abide by structure. They want to be out there. They want to jump out there and exercise their Jezebel spirit. They have too many options on social media now. Too many men who look better than you. Too many men who have deeper swag than you. They're not better for you as a life outcome, but certain men get women wet just when they look at them. Women go by certain men's TikToks and by their Instagram profiles, and they'll see that guy maneuvering a certain way. And women can actually get wet just based off of the amount of excitement or respect that they receive from a certain man, depending on what he's doing, right? However it is that they can fantasize. If they can fantasize about a man in an attractive way, they can get wet off of him, right? So do you understand a woman having the spirit of Eve, right? I don't want to say it like that, but a woman, we know that Eve was not able to behave, right? Women have this spirit. They can be tricked out of their position. It's very, very difficult. Social media has done so much damage to these women that it's very, very difficult. You know, those of us, we remember going to school and, you would hear all the girls, oh my God, Tom Cruise is so gorgeous. Oh my God. Right? Right? I would kiss his lips and da-da-da-da-da. It was just, they knew they could never really, they were fantasizing about him. Did you know? Today, these women have access to Tom Cruise. Today, these women have access to Chris Brown. Today, these women have access to Michael B. Jordan. They're only a DM away. Do you know how difficult it is for a woman to say, my husband is on a scale of 1 to 10. He's okay. He's about a 6. I love him. But all of the men who I am crazy turned on by, I now renounce them for the rest of my life. Right? Why do you think so many people are finding out children that they fathered, children that they children that they fathered aren't theirs? Because these women can't contain themselves. They have a fire burning in their bosoms. And that thing, the only thing that can quench that thing is a man. See, women have lost a lot of their intelligence levels. You even read studies that show a woman is less, it's less likely to be able to control a woman who has a college degree. 80% of the time a divorce is filed, a relationship is dissolved, a woman does it. If she's college educated, it goes up to 90%. So these women have a very, very significantly hard time controlling themselves. Very, very difficult for them to control themselves. I just don't know, like, I don't know what it would take to get for a woman to get me to marry her. It's like I don't see where it makes any sense. Listen, let's do it like this. I want to play a game. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Do this for me. Give me some good reasons to get married in America today. You guys have the platform. Write down some good reasons for a man to get married in America today. Yep. Look, Jazz said none. And I'm leaving the ball in you. Even women can answer. Give me some good reasons for a man to get married in America today. Look, Council of State said there is none. If I was a man, I wouldn't marry. I'm going to wait. Because I'm an open-minded individual. If you meet the bar of logic, I'll concede to it. Okay, I respect that. Sherry said, well, the right woman will multiply anything that she's given. She's also support. Well, I respect what you're saying, and I agree. I would just say it is so difficult to determine when you do and don't have the right woman. A lot of people went into that marriage believing they had the right woman. Being equally yoked. Whew. I don't know if that's a feasible reason. I think being equally yoked would become before the marriage, actually. Holiness, yeah, that's about the only one. But I'd say we can go to an Indian reservation and get married if we're gonna right. Yeah, Kiki, you got a point. Boy, it is a hell of a gamble. Oh, hell of a gamble. Do you know how long it takes men to amass? I'm not even talking about a fortune. Do you know how long it takes a man to amass financial security? Upwards of around 50 years. Imagine half of that getting snatched out from under you. Woo! I agree with that. My brother Mike said 20 years from now, 77% of men will be filing for divorce. I agree with that. heck is that? Kiki, you going overboard now. To the right woman, divorce won't ever be considered. Where's this woman at? Where's this woman at? Listen, I've asked you guys, go look at the Steven Jackson story. It's all over YouTube. This woman orchestrated it strategically from beginning to end. Even went and found a pastor who would get in on the scheme with her and convince the guy to leave alone the notion of a prenup. Whew. See, this is what I'm saying. When you factor in all of the other stories that we've heard, it makes it seem kind of foolish to even entertain the notion. I'll sign some type of contract with you or something like that. Like, I'll say we can be together and you're not taking half of my money. It's bad enough that you're going to fracture and fragment my life down the halfway mark if we make it to the halfway mark. See, because a lot of people just look at the financial aspect. Listen, no good reason to be married for real. I kind of agree with it. Like it's when we even have to have these conversations, that means we went to a place to where marriage is a toss up. Look at this conversation we're having. We're having a conversation on whether or not it's a good idea to get married. Yes, it's business. I think you should really treat marriage like business for real. I believe you should have your assets. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys this too. A woman who won't tell you that you're spending too much money, even if you're spending on her, a woman who won't tell you, babe, I appreciate, I love you, but, I want us to, be putting up more than, if she won't tell you that, that woman is not solely out for you. A woman who's really out for you, or down for you, not only does she want you to be careful and frugal, but she's doing the same thing so you guys can have a nice nest egg for the later years of your guys' life. If it doesn't look like that's what she's on, then she's on something else. A woman who's really down with you, she doesn't want to see any hurt come to you. She doesn't want to see any hurt come to your finances. Not only that, it's not even just your finances. She's making sure that you and her finances are being governed adequately. A woman who likes being bought lots of gifts, she's a problem. She's a problem. I don't care. I'm not enough. Why does there always have to be gifts? Let me move as I please. You don't have to always be asking for something. I've already given you something. I've pledged myself to you. I come home periodically, with something for you. One gift a month. One gift every other month. That's not what we're together for. We're together because we see something really valuable in each other. And therefore, we want to be connected to each other because of that thing, that value that we see in each other. That value that I hold, that I see in you. I want to be close to that thing because from the first moment I saw value in you, I wanted to stay close to that valuable thing that I saw in you. That's not enough? What about we make each other feel good, and the moment that I figured that out, I always wanted to walk through the park, down the beach with you and things like that. Why do we have to talk about gifts and finances and things like that? It's crazy to me. It's so easy. It is so easy to tell when a woman is about you. But oftentimes, see, men are a lot more selfless than women are. We just desire this thing to be real, so strong to where we keep hope alive. We keep hope alive. even at our own peril. If you disagree with anything that I'm saying, ask yourself why men know how crucial getting married to a woman can be, and yet they've continued to do it up until now. Men are just decent people. That's it. Crazy. I want to go back to this. I want to show you what audacity looks like.
Well, if this isn't a case of how being greedy can go very wrong, I don't know what is. This is Charlotte Padrell, and she thought she was going to get a pay date from her boyfriend of only a year, Israel Adesanya, who is a UFC two-time champion UFC fighter. He's Nigerian from New Zealand. Now, what Charlotte decided to do is that once they broke up after a little over a year, she decided that she was going to sue him in court for half of his assets. And he has a $15 million fortune, right? Charlotte felt like she deserved half. The basis of her lawsuit is essentially what Mariah Carey did. She felt like that they had spent a year together. She expected to get married to him, and then he dropped her like a hot potato. So she was upset and was like, well, I'm going to sue him because I deserve half of his UFC fortune because I helped him along the way with his career in that year. Mind you, they had never been married.
This is how nasty a woman can be. They weren't even married and she wanted half. They were only together for 1 year, 12 months. 12 months. Do you know what has to be stirring up on the inside of another human being for them to say, I've been with you for a year of my own voluntary will. I want $7.5 million from you for that. I wish the courts would force women to take an audit of what all they've done that justifies what they're asking for. Well, I gave him sex. I gave him head. I let him hit it from the back. Did I mention I gave him sex? Oh, okay. Oh, I would whack him off and what do you mean all of that falls under sex? So I can only write that down once? Count that as one thing? Damn it. I was nice. You were only being civilized if you were nice. That's it. I was nice. I was his girlfriend. You see how ridiculous this begins to sound? How do you deserve $7.5 million? I'm talking about as a girlfriend. This speaks to the nasty nature that is inside of a woman if she is not being led by a man, or if she has not at one point in time in her life been led by a man for a significant amount of time. A woman who has free will, 100% autonomy, she's dangerous. She's high level dangerous. Because once that thing activates inside of her, Lord have mercy. I agree. Listen, Empire King said if you didn't meet her as a teenager and take her purity, then she's not really yours. It's just your yeah. I think people are really oblivious to the quality or lack thereof, the percentage of quality women that are in the U.S. See, because even the women who are so-called good, they've been tainted to a degree with with Western culture. Maybe she wasn't always like that. But when she broke up from her one guy, you know, she is a good woman. Broke up with her one guy, and her friends couldn't wait till she broke up with him so they could start getting her out to the places that they used to go to. And slowly but surely, she started seeing what they were all out in the streets about, and this and this and that. And then, you know, girl, listen, he got a brother. Listen, just meet him. I told him that you were single and da-da-da. You decide to do it just because they've been saying it.
Bang, 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 daddy, bang. Bang, 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 daddy, bang.
And now you've had that pushed up in you. You've had that pushed up in you. It's over after that. It's over after that. Once you've gotten the hood version of a hysterectomy, it's over after that. It's over after that. You'll never be any more good. And listen, this can be a woman who was a virgin and her husband of 15 years took her virginity. If that girl goes out there and slips on a banana peel and falls on an anaconda, it's over. She will never be any good anymore. She can get into a relationship with a billionaire and her mind will always wander towards that anaconda. When he's at work, when he's at the office, she will be in the shower, massaging that clitoris, thinking about that anaconda. The anaconda that she got like 10 years ago. That's why a woman was never supposed to be with more than one man. Because it destroys you. The best hope that a woman who does that could do is after she gets out of a marriage, if she messes around and she gets a hold of a guy who's not really working with much and, you know, not really a good lover, she can possibly regain herself after that. She could probably recoup after that. But if she messes around after her divorce, slips on a banana peel, and lands on anything that is worth fantasizing about, she'll never be able to forget it. There's not a woman down here right now who doesn't remember the best sex she's ever had in her life. She knows him. She has muscle memory of his stroke in her head. She knows how he used to roll his hips around when he was in her. She remembers it all. Did you know that they have scientific studies behind this? When a woman has had too much sex, it makes it harder for her to attach to her man, because she will often catch herself reverting back to that anaconda she slipped and fell on. We can act like that I don't know what I'm talking about. We can pretend. But a lot of us know gospel is being preached. What I have done to some women, I'm just being honest with you, I know they'll never forget it. I've had some tell me. I've had some people, 2 times I've had people get upset with me when I decided to move on and better my life and get out of the streets and things like that. One of them said, "What am I going to do now?" I know what she was talking about. What I used to do to her in the bedroom. The way that I break women down when they're in a companionship with me, I do know that they're going to have to go through some hoops. Like the average man, he just wants to get on top and da-da-da. I date a certain type of way. So I know it is a way, like, you know, what would we call it? Experience. Well, you know how, like, what's it called? A theme. It's nothing for me. Like, to be in a companionship with a woman, and if I'm over her house, just walk through her door and just walk up on her, nose to nose, and start. I'm not saying hi, hello, how was your day? Just blick, button one, blick, button two, blick, and she's gonna stand there nose to nose with me. I might even grab her like this. That's why I knew what the one woman was talking about when she said, "What am I gonna do now, Poppy?" I bumped into her at the liquor store one time. We had left each other alone because I was getting my life together in some different areas. I bumped into her at the liquor store. She was still with her other guy. She said, "Poppy, I want to come back home." I knew what she was talking about. Now imagine this. If you've impacted a woman to that degree, imagine her getting married to somebody who makes $1 million a year. It doesn't matter. She's been impacted. She's been compromised already. Listen, it doesn't even have to be the type of individual who will dominate a woman like I do, right? If that girl has been given some really, really good pipe before, I'm talking about good pipe, she's compromised. She's compromised. That's why you guys weren't supposed to be experimenting with all this pipe. You won't be any good for your husband. There is scientific studies behind this. Shout out to Seaside in this situation over here contributing to the show. If they're born, raised in the West, then they have the feminist virus to some degree. Watch how they interact with their female friends and family. That's real. That's real. Listen to what they say. That's not the conversation of women. I don't need no man. That's not the conversation of a real woman. Not the woman that the Bible describes. Listen, Council of State said, "I agree. Once a woman has slept with too many men, she's done." She is. You know what? I am going to download this. Don't go anywhere, TikTok. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? I want to show you guys something. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. That, what was that? Fire Marshal Bill. Let me show you something. I want you guys to check this out. How can you see what being a hoe is doing to you? No boyfriend, no marriage. How can you see all of the bad things that it's bringing into your life and you keep doing it for more years?
It's almost like they're stuck in a cycle. Once they get to that point, it's like they enjoy. Well, I don't know what part they enjoy about it, because it baffles me. I'm being honest, it baffles me at times.
I think you made a very good point. I think there is a threshold that you can reach to where if you cross that line, you can get lost inside of that lifestyle and never be. You know how like when a river is frozen and someone falls up under the ice and they can't find that hole. They can't find that hole. Mm-hmm. I think that there is a threshold that women can hit where they can't find that hole anymore. They can't come back to civilization. They can't find their way out. So they're consumed in this underworld of a lifestyle of giving, just because I see him in the club and I think he's cute, so I'll give him oral sex tonight. I don't have to know about his pedigree. I don't have to know anything about it. I don't have to know his last name. He's cute. I believe that there is a threshold of breakage that a woman can incur due to excessive amounts of sex that can break her to the point where she can never find her way out again. Or if she does find her way out, it's late in her years of life where she's undesirable in the eyes of men. She's lost a lot of her dating value. You disagree?
Oh, I agree that they're too far gone by that point.
Turbulence, people. You hear what she said? I agree that she's too far gone at that point. Paul T in this situation, my bro. I appreciate the support, man. Listen, a woman who has gotten too far down the road of being promiscuous, I compare it to, you guys know how, like, when a river is frozen and you drop a brick in it and there's a hole and someone dives down that hole, but then they can't find the hole anymore. They're scrambling up under the water. They're scrambling. They're looking for the hole, but they can't find it. I believe that that's the same way that happens when a woman has went down that streak of promiscuity. I believe that they can get so lost inside of that realm of promiscuous behavior to where they won't even know that they're lost inside of something, because it will have become a regular way of life to them. Now they don't even know that they're behaving unseemly. This is just who they are now. And to them, it's not really that bad. But they start getting horrific dating results and responses, right? Yeah, Counselor State says she can't find her way back. Lost. It becomes the norm to them. She's not walking around like, I'm a hoe. She's not walking around like that. This girl, that man just stretched that girl out to all be damned last night. Had her calling out for gods that she's never believed in. That girl creamed herself 3 times. You think anyone's walking around like this? Damn, he made me come 3 times last night. No, that's not how that goes. That girl will be upstairs in her bed sucking her thumb like a newborn baby in fetal position for some time. And guess what happens? She starts craving it more and more and more. She starts craving it more and more and more. And then once that relationship dissolves, if that guy ends up getting in a relationship or something, guess what she'll do? Now she has to examine other men out in society who seemingly have the same characteristics that Javon did, because Javon stretched that thing out. You could feel it stretching. You know how you hit that button where she said, you filling me up, daddy. I can't take no more. She doesn't have access to Jovan anymore. But Tay-Tay kind of resembles, the way he wears his pants, his confidence. He doesn't look like the type to have a job, but he looks like he could hit me like Jovan hit me them years ago. She doesn't have to do much to... men typically respond. That's it. She's at the gas pump. Look his way. Right? Now here come Tay-Tay. Hey, how you doing? You mean to tell me you don't have someone that's allergic to seeing you pump this gas by yourself? There's something not right about this picture. Thanks. No, I just had to come let you know how gorgeous you are. 1 week later.
Bang, 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 daddy, bang. Bang, 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 daddy, bang.
Right? But he doesn't really hit it right, not like Javon did. It's all right. It's all right. But this girl had expectations. He didn't really quite hit that button down yonder. Right? So she can't see herself being sprung on Tay-Tay. So her mind is still open. She's still searching. Like, he was all right. But Lord, what Jovan did to me. So now she still has wandering eyes. She kind of knows the look of the man who is associated with the type of sex that Jovan put on her. She thought she kind of had it with Tay Tay. She thought Tay Tay was, but it turned out it wasn't really like that. It didn't suck, but it wasn't like that. And she goes out with her girlfriend. You know how girlfriends are. When you get out of a relationship, your girlfriends are hoes anyway. They've been wanting you to get out there and slut with them so that their conscience doesn't have to be saturated with the guilt, right? They don't really like being around you. They don't really like being around you because they know that they're hoes and you ain't. They can't wait to hear that you and Tom didn't work out, right? Girl, come on out with us. They already have a plan concocted. You had already let Tay Tay hit, right? It wasn't Jovan. It was cool. They got you out at the bar now. Now here come mrriages walking up to the bar. Yes. He's got some Dior on too, or some Yves Saint Laurent. He smells good. And he has that rugged look that you can associate with the way that Jovan used to bang that thing out. But hold on, check this out. You can see the elements in mrriages. You can see the elements. His body language, his movement, his confidence. He is probably the kind of specimen who can bang you out like Jovan did them years ago. And oh, Lord God, you go home with him and he does it.
Bang, 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 daddy, bang.
Inner thighs shaking and quivering. Just like Jovan. He stretched you out better than Jovan did. Right? But he has a woman. Right? So that's not yours. So guess what you have to do? He can still hit whenever he calls, but you still want something that you can go sit on top of whenever you want to. Something that you can look at like it's yours. So you're still out there a little bit. He can hit whenever he calls you, but you still want something that's yours. The moral of the story is this. Look at all of those bodies that she has accrued trying to find another Jovan. Now she's no good. Now she's no good. What? My day one popping off up in this situation. You already know what it is, bro. I appreciate the support. Listen, this show is 3.5 years old. This brother was here the week we started. You understand? Salute to you, my brother. Yeah, this is what I'm telling you guys. See, and what you guys don't understand is the more cock intake you break, then you mess around and you get with a really good man. I'm talking about a man who was raised in values, a man who was raised with both parents. You got that guy that most women lie and say they want, but you're no good for him. You've consumed too much cock. And might I add, amazing cock. I'm talking about this guy has got you. You filling me up, daddy. Want no more fit. This good guy can't compete with that. Here he is. Come home, suit and tie, sits his briefcase down. You know, good guy, responsible guy, prompt guy, routine guy, traditional guy, by the book guy. He's on top of you. It feel good, baby? How's it feel, baby? Whose is it, baby? Yours. Yes. I can't take it. Oh. This is the cycle that you're in. You're not suitable for a decent man. Not the type of man that the Bible says God wants you to be with. You need to be stretched out all to oblivion. You need to be stretched because that's what you've been getting. It all started with Jovan. It all started with Jovan. Now, just so you can feel decent about yourself, you need something like this. You need... Nothing else will really work for you. You've been chasing Jovan for 15 years. Not Jovan, but what Jovan did to you. And in the search for him, you've ran through like 7 different people. 3 of them had that good. 2 of them were already in relationships, though, so that's not yours. And the other one, he's not really looking to be in a serious thing, but he'll stretch that thing out every time you want him to. So you still don't have your own, but you still get, So by the time that a good man comes around, you're no good for him. Your ability to attach yourself to one man is broken. There's science behind this. Past 10 sexual partners, a woman's ability to attach herself to a man reduces all the way from 100% down to 20%. You're broken. Did you know you guys weren't supposed to have sex like that? You weren't supposed to have it. Yeah, we talking about that python. And he got nerve enough to know how to work it too. Right? Grab you by the back of the neck, pulling you into him. And this dude got nerve enough to be able to go for 30, 45 minutes. Flip you over like it's nothing. Got both ankles in the air. Hung. You're no good anymore. A good man simply will not suffice. A good man is no longer good for you. You are now reduced to having to deal with men who are not good for marriage. Men who want to give other women the exact same, men who other women want from him the very same thing that you want from him. Other women who look better than you, other women who are higher caliber than you. You think that this same man who had you yelling out for 5 different gods, talking about you feeling my belly button up, daddy. You think that you're the only one that wants that from him. You think you're the only one who's gotten that from him, which makes it difficult for him to commit to you. Now you've just been turned into a bust down. Pit stops. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Those inner thighs shaking and jingling. She take your hand. Feel my thighs, daddy. Like, dang. And the whole thing's soaking wet down there. Feel the inside of my thighs, daddy. I know. You're not the only one I've done this to. It's over for you. So what I would advise you guys to tell your daughters, tell them. I tell you guys all of the time, you may think that this show is too explicit. You should have your daughters and your sons watching this show. You may think it's too explicit. It's better than Cardi B getting a hold of them sooner than we do. It's better than Glorilla getting a hold of them sooner than we do. It's better than Cardi B getting the hold of them before we do. At least when we get a hold to them, we're going to keep it real with them and let them know the best ways for them to maneuver safely and navigate through this planet without bringing so much damage upon themselves. They won't be suitable for wives. And see, there's a lot of ladies down here who know exactly what I'm talking about. You've been hit good before. You know what it was like. And you know deep in your heart a woman is the weaker vessel. A weaker vessel get hit with that good kind? I'm talking about that good kind. And he's got a listen, I'm going to tell you fellas something that you might not know. To be packing down there, it's cool. But do you know what will really set a woman off? If she's attracted to you. You better not have the slightest bit of confidence about yourself, right? Or you better not be the type of man who she knows. You'll put her in place and say, hold on, who the fuck you think you're talking to? Right? This girl gets wet long before you guys hit the bed. If she's attracted to you, half of that battle is won. And then you're going to lay Python on top of her after that? She's damaged. A woman to experience a man who she feels secure around him, feels safe around him, she can smell his confidence, she can smell the manly man on him, and he knows how to break backs. Let a woman encounter a man like that 5 times in her life. It's over. It's over. Yep, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yes. We'll fit in this situation supporting the show. That's what I'm talking about, my bro. Listen, hold on. What was that comment today? What was that comment on the Facebook today? It was a cool brother. He made a statement. He said something to the extent that, brother, I usually agree with the things that you say, Shout out to Rev up in this situation. I appreciate it. He said, but, I just hate that you think like that. He was saying, because, I want men to know that you have to change spiritually and things like that to get the good girl. I said, brother, do you really believe that? Do you know who really gets the good women? It's the broken man. It's the middle caliber, I can't say the word, street pharmacist. Lower functioning men have access to all of the women. Why do you think that the pool boy is banging out the millionaire's wife? The good guy will come in last majority of the times. You better know that. And what I mean when I say good guy, I'm talking about if he does not have some rough around the edge ways about himself, if he's not an assertive man, if he's not spiritually cut up a little bit, like if he doesn't have some spiritual bullet wounds, rough around the edges like that, he'll finish last often. Because a woman is attracted to biologically what resembles most masculinity. That's that. There's no debate about that. Why do you think women who have already secured the bag are often caught cheating with someone of a lower specimen? A piece of ish. He's where the excitement is. Most women want to lie about that, but it's the truth. We all know it's the truth. That's why the majority of African-American women, that's why the majority of the children in the African-American community were created by, some suggest it's around 80% of the lower functioning black men. The lower functioning black men in the black community have access to the majority of the women. Shout out to Obi in this situation. Embrace the grace up in this place. Do you see any changes years from now in our black community with this lack of chastity from our black women? No, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. We don't have a group in the African American men are the only group of men who don't have a women of their own, and we don't see any signs of them doing any better. Monsters have had monsters, and those monsters that they had grew up and had monsters. It was a cycle that hasn't stopped. Look all over social media. Look all over social media. There's monsters. I call them monster making machines. It's going to take a supernatural intervention for the black community. Like, we're too far gone. See, you have to think about this. Broken African American women aren't only having broken girls, they're having broken boys too, right? So what happens when broken boys start mating with broken girls, right? You have a society full of dysfunctionals. And unfortunately, there's not a pill that you can take to break dysfunction. And we're not talking about just the word dysfunction, the dictionary definition. We are talking about high levels of psychiatric damage and dysfunction. We are talking about people who are walking in restaurants and going behind the counter and fixing their food and threatening to bust everybody upside the head if they try to stop them. Women! Do you know what type of breakage has to be inside of a woman? For a woman's supposed to be far from that type of behavior. A woman is supposed to be the image of the community. She's supposed to be the representative of the community. She's supposed to be that thing that causes people to hold us in high esteem once they look at her. But look at our women. These people are fighting and everything. Listen, my girl said, women aren't meant to cheat at all. Men make mistakes, but women shouldn't be. That's a fact. You break. You literally break. Black Mike up in this situation. Yeah, they don't mind being in rotation with an affluent man. Future had 3 women pregnant at the same time. And that's the crazy part. Like, they've been tricked into admitting it, but they like to pretend that they're still the caliber of women that our grandmother and women of that degree were. But listen, let's be real. A woman who's locked in with a man who makes $250,000 a year, he can cheat openly. That's just what it is. He can cheat openly. Who disagrees with that? Who disagrees with that? And I'm asking the women. Who disagrees that a man who makes $250,000 a year can cheat openly? I'm not talking about somebody he's married to. I'm talking about the women he deals with. Because the moment he says, well, if my lifestyle is too much for you, I can respect that. You know what I mean? Then that means that I just have to let you go. Wait, come here. Let's talk. Now, Toro up in this situation, my bro. Appreciate your support. Yeah, and I hate to agree with that, man. I really do hate to agree with that. Nel Toro said, these women ain't shit these days. And we don't like to be able to say that. But you guys have swallowed the hook of Western culture, and that thing destroyed you. It destroyed you. You guys were convinced into trading traditions. You traded a tradition that works, you know, for one that allows you to have high levels of fun but end with bad outcomes. Busting loose. Yep, yep. My bro said I was married and wanted that old school love, but when that mask came off, she was for the streets. See, and that goes back to what we were talking about when we first started the show. And women were like, there was some women. I'm not knocking what the women were saying. They were like, yeah, but if you get that right woman, she will multiply. Who is she though? We really can't take a chance on that. We can't really take a chance on marrying a girl. Listen, if you didn't grow up with that girl, if her mom doesn't know you, if her mom doesn't know your mom, if you guys didn't go to school together or something, juice ain't worth the squeeze. That thing can end up bad. First, you have to ask yourself, if it goes bad, what do you stand to lose? And if it is something very valuable of significance, like 40 years of what you've worked for, you better leave that thing alone. Better leave that thing alone. All right, people, you know we're at the 2-hour mark. This is that mark where if we do not have met in our $50 threshold for the night, end the show early. Any of the ladies have questions, come on up. Or if you disagree with the content, come on up. Feeling like busted loose. If there's any women who have any comments or any questions, any disagreements, come on up. Yes, somebody that your family knows. Because you guys got to understand, you're meeting strangers is what you're doing. Would you trust a stranger with your bank account? That woman that you're about to marry is a stranger. You've known her for 18 months, if that. Would you just walk up on any other stranger in society and give them 20% access to your bank account? Because it's what you're doing, only you're giving more. You don't know about what they used to call this girl in her neighborhood where she's from. You don't know about the rumors that were floating around in town about her where she's from. You don't know about what she was participating in college. You don't know her deepest, darkest secrets that only come by way of spending significant time around someone. These are strangers that you guys are marrying. 2 years. Embrace the grace in this place with the tape. You know I rock with that. Miss Angie up in this situation. Listen, those of you who are new to the show, we are live on TikTok right now, but our main platform is YouTube. That is where our long form content is. All of the short clips that you guys like that are on TikTok and Instagram, the long form of it is on YouTube. 3-hour interviews, things of that nature, you know. So come on over to YouTube, and hit that subscribe button at The Real Stacey Prince. There is no other Real Stacey Prince. So that's the only one you need to type in, right? Right? Do not cheat yourself. Do not cheat yourself. Shout out to all of the people on TikTok for helping us hit that 50K mark.
Dead man. Dead man walking.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Shout out to Will Fit for keeping it going down there for us. Pendulum pause down there. You know I see you. Hey, that's real talk, Obi. That's real talk right there. Obi said it's not for everyone, but I had to send my girl to my grandma's house to spend the weekend and get some drilling. She came back crying, and I knew, he said, and I knew for a fact she finally understood what it meant to be a woman. And my grandma called Monday and said she approves. All my girl said is, I'm going back, and this time she was going to prove her wrong. See, this is what I'm saying. This is why I often tell you guys that women, you're not supposed to be picking the men you date. Your father or a man very close to your heart in your family is supposed to. And it's the same way. Ladies are supposed to be getting tutored by ladies. The Bible says it. The Bible says, and older ladies, teach the younger ladies. Because if you don't, where are they going to learn how to be ladies from? You guys are coming out of the womb and walking straight into a society that promotes all of the most high-level Jezebel behavior in the world. Right. Submissiveness and compliance over a long period of time means they're still workable. I agree. And I'm going to tell you guys something else too. You have to keep your girls away from harlots. All of their old, listen, ladies, a man should have full governing over who you hang out with. If you're not going to give him an approval, if you're not going to give him that type of power, leadership over you, then that's not your man. A man sees things that you don't see. God gave men the ability to see where your chess moves stop, ours continue going. Multitudes of moves ahead. God gave us vision so that we could protect our legacies. Right. I agree. Yeah, that's crazy. What Tone Logan will fit down there talking about? Yeah. See, a man's job is to groom his woman. These women today renounce grooming like, oh, he just want a slave. No, he knows what he wants. And who better to tell you what type of pizza to send my way than the person who is the consumer? You think that Pizza Hut just sends a pizza over to Stacy's house and says, hey, we think you'll like this? No. I know what I like already. So what better fit than for me to call you and tell you what I like? And that's how a man is supposed to do his woman. And if that's not for you, ladies, then this isn't the right man for you. If you can't abide by the stipulations that this man has set out in order for it to be a fair trade, for him to see you through to the end of life and be willing to protect you and all those things, well, he's not for you. Somebody else is. Somebody else who will let you run over them. Go deal with them and save that man his time and his energy and his peace. Hey, people, if we have no more questions, if we have no questions, any disagreements, we're about to rock on out of here. Let me see my people. Who is my people that hit us up with the Cash App tonight? Listen, shout out to Cape in this situation for rocking with us. Sending the Cash App. Who's that classic man down there? Classic man in this situation. My brother. Talk to me. My dad must have done a half-decent job. When I think about it, he taught me well. Yeah, it's crucial to have a dad in your life. Crucial. All you need to do is... The volume went down. I just better not be lagging. I shouldn't be. Okay, it was lagging or something. Where'd Classic Man go? You guys know we're going into overtime. I expect you guys to hit that Cash App at The Real Stacey Prince. We're going to keep the show going. That Classic, what's going on, my brother?
What's up, man? I know you finna end, so you asked if we got a question.
Oh, talk to me.
I just got one question, big bro. Hey, you think Whoopi Goldberg fat in that ass?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Serious
Listen,
question, Stacey.
check this out. I'm gonna tell you something that's really spooky about what you just said. I saw a picture of Whoopi Goldberg last week. I know it was a picture of when she was younger, but you know how people have always judged Whoopi as ugly. I saw a picture of her last week, man. I said, okay. Hey, listen, back in the Jumpin' Jack Flash days, hey, I told myself, I'll probably smash.
I figure everybody else be trolling, man. I figure I'll come over here and troll for a little bit.
No, it's crazy that somebody, I don't know, let me see, I think somebody sent that down my time. You remember Jumpin' Jack Flash, right? The movie she went with, she was the burglar. Yeah, somebody sent a meme of that and the happy Bayesian in this situation. My brother, I appreciate it, man. Listen, I don't know if it was AI'd up or whatever, but I seen the thing and I was like, okay. But I'm gonna tell you something.
No, I remember when she was younger.
Yeah, because I remember them days, whatever. But man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Let me ask you this. Man, do you think a lot of the stuff that Whoopi Goldberg says today, do you think she really believes it or do you think she's trolling, man? you know, she makes statements like, yeah, because, you know, you guys talk about, you know, she was promoting trans men being able to be in women's sports and things like that. She said, you guys just, you know, act like women are just defenseless and weak and, but you guys don't know about our body. We can compete with men. Do you think they really believe that stuff, man?
I'm gonna tell you something, and you asked a very difficult question. But I've also heard Whoopi say that if a woman put her hands on a man, she should expect to get hit back.
Yeah.
Right? I've heard her say that too. Yeah. So this is why it's different. A part of me believes that the things that she says, she really believes. Why? Because normally a woman who goes through life that everybody sees as unattractive, she's going to have animosity. She's going to try to go against the grain.
I agree.
Okay? So, I mean, their attractiveness is their agency. That's their currency. So, she been bankrupt her whole life.
For real.
Okay? Now, I'm not saying she's not a beautiful person. I'm not saying that she don't have a beautiful mind. But her currency, she doesn't have any. So, therefore, she's relied on other things.
Right.
But here's where I have a problem that makes me say, Classic, maybe you're not right. Because she's doing a show, brother. And that show is predicated on controversy.
Okay.
So when I hear her say something like, yeah, I was taught that if a man is a man, and if a woman puts her hands on a man, she knew he was a man before she put her hands on him.
See, I've never heard her say anything that logical.
Yeah, she fought hard on The View with those other women about that, okay? So, I know how she was raised, right? Just based off of some of the stuff she say.
Right.
So, you can't be that far left and then say some stuff like that.
I think I
so
agree
it makes
with
me
that.
think that maybe I think it's an act, bro. I really do.
I agree with that because you can't be so close to the confines of logic, but then you go all the way off the Richter, you know what I mean, with your next thought, you know what I mean?
Hey, but you still didn't answer my question.
Nah, ain't no smashing taking place. Listen, because I got her pictures up right now. Somebody told me to pull the pictures up, and I got her pictures up right now. Ain't no smashing taking place, man. Listen, especially not with them lights going out. You know what that'll look like when them lights go out? It look like you on top of a young boy, man. Yeah.
Say, tell the truth. Stacey, tell the truth, bro. When she was in the color purple and she did that little smile.
Lord have mercy.
That smile has never left my face. I mean my head. Never. That's what I see. I'm sorry.
Say, look like a slave.
Y'all wrong, man.
What you got going on, though, brother?
Oh, my goodness. Man, I just left work. It take me an hour to get home.
Woo!
And I reach home about 12:30. And now I got to be back up at the office at 8:30.
Crazy work. Hey, see, that's what we have to do, though. You know what I'm saying?
Woo, man.
So listen,
I sure appreciate you helping me laugh.
You know, but hey, listen, check this out. So what we was talking about today was like, what do you think about the significant levels of damage? You know, because women have been saying we don't need y'all. We needed y'all. Our mothers taught us to, you know, get a husband and get inside of marriages when we couldn't do for ourselves. Now that we're independent, we have all our own money and this and that. We don't need y'all. That's all. You know, I know you've heard that, but what we were talking about today is, man, this DEI is coming for a lot. I'm sorry, AI is coming for, like, Google has a long list of the jobs. Listen, Warren Buffett made a statement, and he was talking about college is not necessary. They said people are in college right now working for degrees that will be replaced by AI in the next 6 months, right? I'm telling people, man, there's a factory reset coming, man. But the issue is this. Women have been listen, men's jobs, men will always have work. We will always have work. Our strength will always be used. Always be utilized. Our mentalities, our intellect will always be utilized, right? Men will never be out of work. It's really that simple. Bodyguard work, whatever it's going to be. Now, with how distasteful women have been behaving towards men, I believe a factory reset is coming to where a lot of women are going to have to start falling back onto traditional times, man, partnering up with a man. But what about when men can remember how nasty you guys have been all over the internet and don't want to have anything to do with you? Don't want to get married no more. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, first, I know that women will try to say that your argument is a scare tactic, right? They won't believe you.
Okay.
Okay, because I'm telling you, that's what's happening. They're gonna believe, Stacey, you're using a scare tactic,
Okay.
right? That's what they're gonna say.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, the reason they'll say that is because privilege is invisible to those who have it.
Right, I agree.
Right? They don't see the privilege, so it's invisible. I do agree with Warren Buffett. I agree. But when I look at the statistics, you are correct. The infrastructure is built by men. Okay? It doesn't matter if you have electric cars or gas powered ones.
Right.
You still need a road.
Right.
Okay? You still need lights along that road.
Better know it.
You still need an electrical plant to keep the lights going. So you ask yourself, how many women do this job or these jobs, and how many of them are capable of doing them?
Right.
Okay? Well, eventually your factory reset will come about.
It will have
and
to.
when it does, you're going to have, like you said, you almost sound like a prophet, young brother. You really do. You're going to have the individuals who spend all their time on TikTok, Instagram, all these different places, and they talk cash trash about men and not needing them and all this. And those same women that look like Whoopi Goldberg, they going to have their behinds tooted up on Instagram,
Yep.
just like the same women that they talked about, because that'll be the only thing that they can do. Now, will it work? I don't know. It depends on how much men have become simps and panders.
Right.
Right?
I think that
That's
plays a
what
factor into it too.
So that will determine. However, still the elite, the most masculine, or the leaders like the Warren Buffett of the world that are actually elite in the world and have all the resources, all of those men have one thing in common. They ain't simps or panderers, and you can't get them to do jack.
Right.
Just because you got a pretty smile, some nice breasts, and a nice ass.
Right.
It don't work.
Right.
Okay? That's what made them successful. The fact that it doesn't work on them.
Hey, brother, you listen.
So,
you are word for word speaking the entire first 30 minutes of the show, bro. For real. Like the caliber. See, here's the issue. The simps that we're talking about, man, they've had those guys, man, in the friend zone for 15 years. Even when these women are married, these guys will. Me and Tony are into. They live in the same house. Me and Tony are into it right now. You think I need like $200. He'll still cash app her. But see, the reason that these men are in the friend zone in the first place is because women aren't attracted to those men. You think women don't know who they have in the friend zone and who they don't? The issue is this.
yeah.
The men that you were just talking about, we spoke about at the beginning of the show. Those are the men who don't take no ish. I don't care about your... Listen, do you know how many of you I have in rotation right now? You can fall into compliance, or you know what I mean? You can exit, right? But they don't exit because those are the men that they're attracted to. Women are attracted to leadership. And the guys who... They'll mess with a guy who allows them to run over him, but he'll get cheated on. He'll be the one who finds out children aren't his and things like that. So my point is this. It's not a scare tactic. What we're talking about is the scriptures lead up to it. 7 women shall cling to one man. Listen, the scriptures talking about, we're at that point right now. 300,000 plus black women just lost their jobs. Brother, that's at the beginning of this stuff. That's at the beginning of that was just DEI. That didn't really have a ton to do with AI. Most women's jobs are in
Right.
human resources, governmental jobs, and admin. Google, look this up. Google just released a list of jobs that will be replaced by AI. And brother, what I'm telling you is people can talk about this like it's a scare tactic. The reason I don't care that they talk about it like a scare tactic is because I know certain caliber men won't want you to come back to them anyway. Like I've been busting you down anyway. I've been had access to you because I'm a certain caliber man. You know I don't play these type of games, so I don't need to do any scare tactics. I have those top caliber of women anyway, but they are going to have to succumb. This has been a two-income society, brother, for the last 50 years, man. It already has been.
Yeah.
But these women have been running around talking about I'm an independent woman and this and that because they're making their own money, but they don't realize how much more money they would have if they had a mate, if we were going half on these bills. Not only would you have a lot of these women, brother, they're spending all of their money on that. They do own a house. They do own their car. They are doing, their kids are draped in the Jordans and things, but how much of that money is able to be saved? If you had a significant other, you would be able to do all of these things, live in a good house, and be putting up some money out of your check. But they think that this independent woman way, I do this and that by myself. That doesn't mean it's smart. Doesn't mean it's smart. And that's the average African American does not have $2,800 that they can freely go retrieve without, causing some trouble. That lets you know you're doing this the wrong way. And when times get tougher, that thing is really going to stand out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Stacey, let me ask you this. Even if she was independent, right? Even if she did have all this stuff and a factory reset started and it got bad, can she keep it?
Exactly. That's what
I mean by that is not can she go out there and work. I'm saying, how you gonna stop other thugs, villains, and criminals from taking it from you? Do you really think that a pew-pew is an equalizer?
It irritates me when they say that too.
Yeah. What happens when the mindset of the social construct that we call America changes and men stop caring to the point of ain't no opening doors for you.
Right.
Ain't no doing all of that for you. We all equal now. Y'all, that's what you wanted. So now we our mindset is going to treat you equal. It's every man for himself. Okay? What happens then? Ain't no 911. Ain't no court system to come help you, right? Now me, I'm from the country. I know how to hunt, plant, fish, build. Okay? So I can guarantee you it's going to be some women. Hey, Clancy, can I come over here and live with you? I'll give you some ass. No, I don't want no ass. But what you can do, you can get over there and pick them peas with the rest of them. Man. You can do that. Okay? That's the difference. That is the difference.
I agree with you, bro.
They so privileged, bro, that they really believe that this facade that we have is going to sustain forever. No empire has lasted forever.
Come on, man.
Not one on planet Earth, bro.
No doubt about it. That's history. That's history right there.
I just hope they ready.
I mean, you can't be ready if you already think you got all the answers. You see what I'm saying? ZF.
Hey, Stacey, you think Whoopi will give me some?
Man, Whoopi will ride your face, man. Hey, listen. It might be considered a felony, but that'll be a felony from hell, man.
Damn it.
What's up, Zero?
Hey, what's up, Classic? How you doing, bro? What's good, Stacey? How you doing?
Oh, man, you know everything's good. Tell me how you feeling, bro.
Oh, I told you I can dance underwater and not get wet.
My guy. See, this is the type of energy I keep around me, people. You understand me? Talk to me.
Man, I just think it's funny how these women, not all women, these women are claiming independent, when
No,
most
hold
people are
on. Stop. Stacy, he gotta answer the entry question. You think Whoopi fed in that ass, Zero? Come on, man, it's a serious
There
question,
you
bro.
go. There you go. See, you always start. You always start me.
Bro.
He say Miss Silly.
This ain't Sunday. This ain't Sunday.
Hey, and we talking about the color purple, Whoopi. Go ahead, yeah.
Nah, here's the thing. When Whoopi was a comedian, she actually wasn't bad looking. Then I don't know what happened.
He said something happened.
I don't know what happened after that.
Listen, shout out to my bro, the Happy Basin in this situation. Give me a second. Broken Berlin in this situation. Salute, subscribe to the show too.
Oh, the Happy Bayesian up in here. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Yeah.
But nah, it's a trip though how these women claim that they're independent when most people.
Zero, hey, hold on, Zero. Hold on. Happy. Answer the question, man. You can't be in the. You can't be in the box. Just answer the question, bro.
Consider it, and when she was in Sister Act.
Okay. Look, he said about 40 years ago.
Comedian Whoopi, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Comedian Whoopi could get it.
How your night been going, Happy?
Yeah, it's about 10 to 6 in the UK at the moment. I started work about 4:30, so yeah, I'm all right.
How's the show been going, man?
Yeah, it's good, man. I had ZF on my live the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm starting my podcast shortly. I'm going live again on Saturday around 2 p.m. UK time. My son will be on there as well, to be talking about relationships, dating in the 18 to 30s, because he's 26 this year. So we're going to get a perspective from young people, or at least a young person, what it's like out there. And I'm telling you, from what I'm seeing, it's not very good out there. It's like a minefield.
Where are you talking about?
Well, over here in the UK for sure.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, I can't really comment about the US because I haven't been there as yet. But, yeah, over here in the UK, from what I've been looking at and getting reports back from people that DM me and all that sort of stuff, telling me their horror stories with dating modern women today.
It's like a disease, man. It really is like it's like a virus was created somewhere, like COVID, and it was anti-woman, and one woman caught it, and she passed it along to. It's really anti-woman. It causes women to behave unlike what we were told women were. You know what I mean? To be in competition with men. What type of woman believes it's attractive to be in competition with a man?
I don't know where this mindset's come from. All of a sudden, it's just gone into that. As you said, it's a lot of masculine traits. Women are trying to be men today, and they're trying. And then they say, "Well, I want a man." You can't want a man. You're already a man.
For real. That's real.
Hey, that's facts.
Can we hear what?
Okay.
Somebody wanted to hear what you was talking about, Zia.
Right, before I was so rudely interrupted by the light-skinned brother in the top corner. You know what I'm saying? Most these women who claim they're independent, most people aren't independent. I'm not independent. You see what I'm saying? Like my favorite cut of steak is ribeye. If I want a ribeye, even if I skip the restaurant, you know how many people I depend on to get a ribeye?
No one's independent. No, not even somebody that's self-employed.
If you look up the word, nobody's independent, man.
Nobody is independent.
I'm not growing that cow. I didn't slaughter that cow. I didn't cut it up. I didn't ship it. You know what I'm saying? You know how many people I got to depend on to get a ribeye? Or better yet, my power. I don't work at Edison.
You know what my son said to me one day? My son said to me, he said, if I have a date and the first thing that comes out of her mouth is I'm an independent woman, I make my own bag. He pays the check and he's gone. He pays his half of the check and he's gone. He says, I'm not dealing with anybody that's coming at me with I'm independent for stuff.
Right.
Because he that's a red flag.
It is. You
Right.
can't get along with
But-
somebody who believes in that they're independent woman. Go ahead, Z. That's my fault.
But I'm saying, if you just look at it, the dumb shit that these people are saying, these women, the dumb shit these women are saying, you're not independent. I'm not independent. I depend on other people for a lot of shit. There's a lot of okay, I cut my own grass. I don't depend on nobody for that. So what? Somebody had to build my house because it was already built when I bought it.
Yeah.
Somebody had to build my car. It was already built when I bought it. I don't work at I don't work at Toyota. You know what I'm saying? So all these people who claim they're independent don't actually realize how many people they depend on. Like, yeah, okay, you're a functioning adult. You have a job and pay your bills. So the fuck what?
You know what gets me as
should
well?
just-
That women submit more to their boss than they will to their husband or fiance.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We in trouble, people. We're in trouble. Boy, I just caught it. 1%.
She might have got one of Sister Acts, yeah. And with the habit as well.
Oh, definitely in the habit. You know what I mean? With the habit, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking
y'all
about,
tell the truth.
I'm talking about
Y'all-
in it. Hold on. Say, you think Stacy would have smashed him?
Yeah, he just wouldn't have told nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. Oh, daddy, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, daddy, bang.
All right, y'all. I'm about to jump up off of here. This phone about to die on us. Any last words?
But y'all be, yeah, just real quick, if all y'all women who talking about you gonna go to Europe and date, no, you're not, because they do Dutch on the first date 100% of the time. Go ahead, try to get a man to pay for some shit. Handle it.
Especially in Holland. Get it? Dutch?
Right.
Let's see. Self-sustaining.
Hey, Stacy, on a serious note, I've been toying with the idea of actually a semi-strike. I want to do the ultimate experiment on TikTok. For 5 days, I want to see, it may not be 5, I might just do it for 3. I want to see if I can get all the high-intensity, well-known male content creators to get off the app for 3 days. No panels, no comments, don't say nothing. Just observe. And I want to see, I'm hoping, my hypothesis is, I'll learn 4 things. 1, we'll learn what it is that women are saying as far as, if it's true, as far as if the men are the problem, right? 2, we'll find out who the simps and the panderers are. Okay? 3, we'll know who the liars are when it comes to virtuous women, because I believe a lot of times we have women that are on our side that really aren't on our side. They're on our side as long as we're in the panels or the comments.
Right.
But if we're gone, we can actually see what's being said.
Hey, I've caught that a couple of times. I've caught that a couple of times, and it was weird to me. It was weird to me, bro. I've caught that a couple times. Somebody who rocks strong with us, man, sound like us, and man, you know, I just so happened went to the person's page, man, and they're like Cynthia G, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But in essence, you know, we were created in God's image. You and I believe, in God. We do. And you know as well as I do that whenever his children just misbehave, he removes his presence from them. He's still there, but he removes his presence. So I want to see what happens if we remove our presence off TikTok. The fourth and final thing is, if you get enough men to do it, I think you may get TikTok to actually recognize something, okay? You and I can get blocked for the smallest thing, man. We can get banned.
Right.
But yet a woman can get on her live and say, oh, we should delete all male babies when they're born.
Yeah.
Right? And that's okay. So it's got to come to an end at some point.
But what baffles me
Just think
about
about
situations like when these women say these things, don't they have like cousins, brothers, uncles who are male that are important in their family, and then for them just to have the freeness and the entitlement to say these things so freely? And the people out there who are risking their lives in to give them their freedom. I mean, come on. I mean, how is it they can just have this mindset to say let's unalive all men? Like, where is that coming from?
A demonic place.
Oh yeah, and don't get up here, ladies. Don't get up here talking about all men are trash, and then call your son a king. No, that little motherfucker.
It's because women say they want an emotional, strong man or whatever it is, but as soon as a man tells them something or puts them in their place, you're insecure. You know, I don't know where you're getting it. You're emotional. I'm going like, come on now. You said you wanted somebody who was emotionally strong,
Right?
And as soon as somebody puts you in your place because you think I want to do this, but the women don't think about consequences. They never think about consequences. They want to wear what they want to wear. I say, I want to wear this for me. It's bullshit. You want to go out there, you want to get male attention. That's what it is.
100%.
But you're not going to admit to that. And not only that, they're more in competition with each other. Because they have to do the one-upmanship. Look at my ring. Oh, look at my bag. Look at what I'm wearing. Look at my wig or my weave or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's always a competition with them. And as soon as something like, say you go out with your boyfriend or whatever it is, and you get a group of guys coming on hitting on you because you got your plunge down and you got your hiked up your skirt or whatever it is, and you're getting all this negative attention, and only two things is going to happen to your boyfriend. Is either he's going to end up behind bars, or someone's going to unalive him because you put him in that position. And if he doesn't defend your honor, he's a lesser man in your eyes.
Well, it's more about, man, to be honest, men have become utilities in the eyes of women because they don't want to get locked down by one man because women are women of buffet. They want to hop on all of the poles that they can. You got to understand what they've been doing out here in these streets. You think they don't know 5 men who could make them cream their pants like in the first 15 minutes? So they have a rotation. They only keep the rotation of men who suffice them, the men who knock those socks off, right? But to get into a relationship will dampen the party. You know what I mean? Now she won't be able to go over there and sit on Craig's lap whenever he wants to. You know, that's what a lot of these things is going on. That's why why do you think so many people are finding out that these children aren't theirs? These women have tasted a buffet that they can't leave alone. Even when they get into relationships, they get caught sneaking back to their old lovers and things like that. And they refuse to, women don't like being told no. And being in a serious relationship is being told no, you can't hang out late enough to where the only thing that's opened up is your legs. So they just, they sabotage relationships when they get into them. Relationships are beneficial to them for multitudes of reasons. But when they find out all that they have to forsake in order to be up under the leadership of a man, they try it. But once they find out all that they have to give up, they'll find the smallest thing to blow that relationship up so they can get back out there to those streets.
Yeah. Stacey, most women would rather get cheated on than be told no.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It baffles my head.
They're such divas like that, and they're so self-centered like that as long as you give them what they want, and I mean we're talking general here, of course, but as long as you give them what they want, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why they like the Simps, because the Simps never tell them no.
Yep.
No, but see, that's the thing. They don't really like the Simps. They want Gloctavius to give them what they want.
Yeah.
They want Gloctavius with a corporate job, tote a 9 mil, and write poetry. You know what I mean? Like this unicorn dude that don't actually exist. You know what I mean? The 6 foot 6 figure, been to prison once, but changed his life and got a corporate Fortune 500 job. Carry a 9 mil in his briefcase. Like, come on, that dude don't exist.
They would tend to go for scammers rather than a guy with a decent 9 to 5.
Nice. Wait a minute, Zero.
Oh, yeah.
You just described me, bro.
Well, I described me too, but except I ain't 6 foot. I'm 5'11".
Hey, people, we about to get up out of here, man.
All right.
I appreciate you guys coming up and rocking out.
For sure. Y'all be safe. Stay dangerous.
You already know. You guys take care, man.
Take care, guys.
My people, we are an hour past the show line, and we still haven't had anybody jump in to support the show. Therefore, we are up out of here, people. You already know what it is. Be nizzle in this situation.